Hi guys, welcome back to our new show, NCIS. We've done the first 5 episodes. This is episode 6 coming up. Now then, that last episode didn't turn out at all like I was expecting, and we're kind of getting Curse of the Mummy vibes with Abby. But it did almost start to feel like there was something else at play here because more people were getting involved. But we're going to move straight on. We're going to carry on. I'm still getting used to things, still learning the terminology, the way they work, trying to get bleed as much information as I can from the show, on top of wanting some real rich background to our characters. I know it's a little bit soon, but I'm starting to get a feel for most of them already. So let's go. It's called High Seas, episode 6. Is he on drugs? What the hell? Oh, his temperature must be soaring. Interesting. Although, to strip naked and put yourself in a fridge locker? Oh, my throat's killing me. I can't believe he does all of this when he's not working in, like, his basement.
I'm working a case on the Enterprise. Sure could use some help on this one.
That sounds insane.
2 days ago, an arresting gear operator went wacko on Liberty and Rhoda.
What kind of drugs?
That fry your brain.
Amphetamine, still waiting for the tox report.
Well,
I don't have enough time to work on this one by myself.
Calling for your help.
No.
Listen, when you see Agent Burley, would one of you mind giving him this?
No problem.
Cricket ball.
Carrier is a big and confusing place first time on board.
Duly noted.
Numbers are stenciled on the bulkheads. First one tells you the deck level, they're called bullseyes. Used for crossing from port to starboard or starboard to port isn't as simple as going straight across.
I'm bloody confused already. I was just listening along there to be able to, you know, just glean a bit of info as to how an aircraft carrier is built and how the decks are organised, but he lost me halfway in. Dependent onto the centre line of the ship, and then sometimes the deck can be above or below. Oh my god, yeah, I will be totally lost. Need GPS. We're still using
30 seconds.
archive footage here, aren't we?
Dropping from 120 knots to 0 in 1 second can take it out of you.
Relax.
Breathe normally. You the one at my desk now? That's right. Must have told you about me.
Actually, no. Abby mentioned it in passing.
Just assigned? 2 years.
Really?
Yes, boss. Same crewman working in Rhoda, working the flight deck here?
All the
I'm
men
trying to
are
read
on
the things.
Petty Officer Reyes's crew. 56-2L.
Okay.
I'll be fine.
Yeah, you're going to get
Oh,
lost.
and this is for you from Ducky.
Here we go. See how lost she gets. 657 2/1. That means nothing.
Okay.
That would be the restroom.
Ma'am?
How do I get to deck 5?
You go aft past bulkhead 126, down the starboard ladder, through the hatch.
Wrong way.
Aft.
well, your body temperature was 106.
Yeah.
That's high enough to kill most men.
Any idea who provided the meth?
No, sir.
You try to float this story at your court-martial hearing, they will laugh your ass all the way to Leavenworth.
I don't do drugs. No one else on my crew does either.
What the hell's going on then? I mean, he looks genuine.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank God.
Ma'am, it's SOP. Women are supposed to announce themselves in designated male quarters of the ship.
I'm announced.
Yeah, but
Can you
you'd
tell me where I can
expect
find
that
Petty
the other way
Officers
around.
Niles and Shrew?
Terminology. I've heard it elsewhere. I'm assuming it's the same thing. I've heard it as a military term before, not particularly to the Navy, but I'm assuming SOP just stands for Standard Operating Procedure. Am I right with that? Comments, people.
60 RPM.
I'm trying to soak in what I can.
Man, I never even considered something like meth.
What about Petty Officer Wilkes?
Solid as they come, man. Wilkes would never disgrace the uniform.
Well,
Fair
I've got
enough.
news for you, Petty Officer Niles.
He did.
He did.
Yeah.
Can't explain it, man.
I mean,
Can't or won't.
these guys are the epitome of training and at the height of their physical strength and being lean to be able to work on a ship like this. Who would purposely be taking that kind of drug, taking meth? It would just cloud everything.
private yacht has gone missing. We are closest to the area, so the Coast Guard has requested our help. I need to know who it is and why testing procedures haven't picked it up.
We'll do the best we can, Skipper.
I'm assuming if when they do search and rescue, it's for their birds to go out and doing the rescue, not the ship. It's too big. Responsible, tough, non-stop job. That is.
30 seconds and the next Viking's on top.
You can't make a screw up, ever.
2 seconds slower than the last time.
Total respect for men that do this. Really.
I always push my men hard, sir. Still, don't you ever lay off, give your men a break? My philosophy is you got to do a job, you got to do it right. 14 hours a day on the flight deck during combat ops.
So, yeah.
Everyone shows signs of stress, sir. Anxiety attacks, irritability, mood swings. Not that I ever saw,
Something that he'd seek a prescription for, of something.
Get that green shirt off my deck. We've got an aircraft on final approach.
Dude, you're gonna get your fucking head sliced off. Dude. That's not looking good. What's up with him now? Starting to think that somebody's feeding these lads something without their knowledge.
But I don't think he's in any real danger now. I've got him pretty heavily sedated. It looks like the same situation we have with Petty Officer Wilkes.
When can I talk with him?
That's hard for me to say, Agent Gibbs.
How are their tox screens permanently coming up on a drug test as clear? If whomever or whatever is supplying them with these drugs, there's clearly more than one person taking them now because we've just witnessed that. Are they taking them themselves and it's all with the stress of the job? Or have we got someone altering or circumnavigating drug tests here? It's possible. It does happen.
Toss Shrew's rack. Got it. Go over everything, and I mean
Too
everything.
soon to tell.
Above his mattress, below his mattress.
Okay.
I want to find out about this testing procedure.
Have one of the ready rooms on hold, boss.
Always anticipating, Stan.
Boss.
Some things never change.
Still causing boss. Search everything. Somebody is either swapping out blood tests or getting around it.
Can I help you, Petty Officer? I do understand. 2 of your guys are in sickbay with enough meth in their bloodstreams to kill a herd of Navy goats. For a crew that doesn't do drugs, you guys sure do a lot of drugs.
Self-doubt.
We don't do the actual testing on board. What we do is we collect the samples, we record the data, and ship them off to a land-based lab. Computer generates a random list, about 25 to 30 a day.
And if someone wanted to beat it?
Ma'am?
There's always a way to beat it.
The system.
Yeah.
Oh.
Every system can be
try.
beaten.
Detox drinks, herbal tea, vinegar.
There's ways. A bag down the trousers.
Fill it up with someone else's urine.
Yeah.
Slip the balloon in your underwear and tape the tube to the underside of your...
I get the picture.
But like I said, anything's possible.
The odds are too high for that.
What do you mean?
You know what I mean? Find your way around the ship and all.
It's going fine.
Good, I'm glad. Really glad.
I admit, it was a little confusing
Daunting.
at first. I
don't know what to tell you, sir.
Why don't you tell me how two members of the same crew who work the same team flip out on meth within a few days of each other, freak out on a flight deck with a plane on final approach?
It's against my morals. I feel the same way about alcohol and tobacco.
Wow.
I even reported a guy for smoking some pot in my last cruise.
Well, it makes a nice story to cover your own ass.
Code blue.
Somebody's coding. The other guy's coded.
Coming in. All clear? Clear. All clear.
We're going to be looking at murder here.
Won't help.
No. It's too much. Now it's likely we have a murderer on board.
Drug addicts learn the art of the con fast.
Yes, they do. But on a ship.
Urine sample. Send them to Abby for retesting.
Let's rule out strangulation. Suffocated by a pillow. Poisoned, perhaps. Oh, we'll soon see. You'll tell Ducky everything eventually.
He's actually a little bit creepy with that.
Is Chief Petty Officer Reyes handing them?
It's hard to tell from this distance.
He runs his crew hard.
And they appreciate him for it.
Aside from the 2 incidents, have you noticed anything out of the ordinary the past?
The only thing I'm not understanding here is if somebody is purposely drugging these guys, they're either asking for it, which means they're culpable and they're all lying, or they're not aware of it, and how the hell are you getting them to take it if they don't know that they're aware of it? You know, like how you would a roofie with a drink and like a bar. But in this scenario, in this situation with where we are.
Let's go! Work it! Work it!
Why get him up to speed at all? It's only a rescue mission, after which they're going home.
Playing catch up! Lose this race, you'll be toothbrushing urinals! Finally find something you're good at, Hatcher. Lying down. Stop. Give me 25 more! Let's go! Let's go!
Someone disconnected his IV tube at both ends and blew all the liquid out of the tube. This blue balloon taped to Gerald's arm represents his vein. Air is blown into the tube using this one-way valve. Air is pushed down the tube and into the vein, and death occurs within 60 seconds. Normal air is less than 1% carbon dioxide with 6% CO2.
That's not air. That was breath.
By someone with medical knowledge?
Most certainly.
What have you got? There were a second set of prints on the saline bag.
So Wilkes' urine was clean. No nasty metabolites, no additives. Look at this.
Oh dear, it's identical.
The exact same urine as Petty Officer Shrew. So anybody happy about this? Anybody freaked out? Be nice to have something.
No, it's kind of what I expected.
It's just that we both really gotta go.
Is this gonna turn into one of those guy-girl things where you insist we stop and ask for directions?
Oh, no, because unlike you, I know where I'm going.
Who's right?
I'll be an admin.
Who's right here? With the way that this show is perceiving their relationship, I have a feeling even though he's more experienced, he'll be wrong now and she'll be right.
Can I help you?
Special Agent Kate Todd.
Where are you? Nope. He screwed it up, man.
Right there.
It's Pell.
Abby, can you get us in closer?
Yeah.
Patience Gibbs.
Ta-da.
Smart Buddy says that is not a Tic Tac.
So it's whoever's handing them out.
You, sir. You can give me one of those capsules you gave Petty Officer Wilkes during flight ops.
Camera.
See a capsule from that camera up there? We had it digitally enhanced.
You busted. Caffeine supplement.
Those are, sir? That's 98% caffeine.
Oh man, I was starting to think it was him. I don't think it is. He's been giving them caffeine supplements, but somebody is swapping out what the fuck is in these caffeine supplements or swapping out the tablets completely. He's just trying to legally keeping his men alert and on top and at the best of their game, whilst not knowingly feeding them meth. Oh man. Doing his handing them out. The normal stuff, prescriptions.
Patches, just like I used in Baltimore. How long?
Really?
Almost 2 years.
So he was a
Before
cop.
that, Philly PD. There were extenuating circumstances.
Which
and what
would
was
be?
before Philly? I forgot. Pittsburgh?
All that matters now is that I'm here at NCIS. What did you do before NCIS, Burley?
Just pushing papers around Washington.
How bad could being a senator's aide be?
Really?
Wasn't me.
Skipper, Mauler 2 has located the yacht. There are survivors in the water. 153 miles out on 260.
There's nothing here.
Nothing that's obvious, anyway. We might have something here.
Black light.
Could be toothpaste.
Could be meth. Bag it.
What are we looking at? Whose locker does that belong to?
Looks the same as the alert capsule we tested.
You think we're barking up the wrong tree?
Actually, I was thinking just the opposite.
Unless you emptied it so you can fill it up with something else.
Then why didn't we find traces of speed?
My crew's tossing your rack as we speak.
They're not gonna find anything.
Maybe that's because you have it on you.
There's a cup of coffee before I go on duty, and a couple of these when I'm on deck.
That's what we're looking for.
You mind if I hang on to these?
They've been telling the truth all along.
They have.
They were getting hooked, and they didn't even know they were using. Are we gonna bring them in now?
Not yet. All we have is a petty officer in possession.
We have 2 survivors on board, returning home.
More. I just don't understand why, because getting them hooked only got to end one way, the way it's ended.
I'm not sure I know what you're getting at. I think you do, Lieutenant.
On each one, the chief's crew had the distinction of maintaining the highest performance rating.
You're both in on it.
Capsules and your help in covering up the urine tests.
Yeah.
Why don't you show us where he keeps his stash?
Why? Just why? And you're gonna send your Marines on fucking meth addicts. I mean, what if they weren't heading on and they got called to active duty now in the middle of a war back in Afghanistan? What then?
You gotta get it together, petty officer. You gotta suck it up.
I don't think I can, Chief.
This should help you out.
Just one, Chief.
Pusher.
Now get the hell on the deck.
He's not a supplier, he's a pusher at the cost of his men. They've already spoken to you, haven't they? Nice. Why, man? Why?
Okay, son. You followed orders.
You're a disgrace. Who the hell needs someone in charge like that? Any reason? What's your excuse?
12 hours a day, 110 degrees on the deck.
With you in their face, pumping them up with meth.
I gave my men something to help them do their jobs better.
It's not a permanent fix.
I'm sorry about what happened, but I'm not going to make excuses.
I don't think you are.
Wolf was a casualty of war, Agent Gibbs.
Fuck off. No.
Yes, he was, Chief. He was also a victim.
Of you.
Of a leader who betrayed his trust.
Looking back into the past, into previous wars in particular, like Vietnam and stuff, and stuff that was prescribed, stuff that was given to them to cope. I mean, there was all sorts, and it's just a sad state to see that you've got somebody here who is completely convinced that he's done the right thing for the best thing for his men, to be the most efficient, to be the best in the fleet, to rise to the occasion, and you get to walk away from it after. You're not the one on them. He's not taking them. You send them all home with an addiction, just like so many tens, if not hundreds of thousands did during the Vietnam War, because they was just supplying with cocaine. They just gave them LSD, they gave them cigarettes, they gave them fucking everything, right? You are what's called a disgrace to the uniform. Sorry, but you are. So I had it right that it was him halfway through. Yay!
You know how much it means to me that we're...
Hell, Stan, you gonna go getting all huggy on me? Bye.
Bye.
See you, Dad. Thanks.
He's never shaken my hand once. Never.
I was in the office 2 years before he even looked me in the eye. Or till he got it right. By then, I'd actually gotten used to Steve.
See?
He must really like you.
Second and a half. It's kind of like sex without all that work.
Cross your arms, chin to your chest.
Hell of an acceleration burst.
Okay? She's smiling.
She's been sick. That was good. Okay, we have blasted through another episode. Episode 6, High Seas. This probably isn't going to happen that often, but I was on the right lines with who I thought was responsible for this, but it took a lot longer for them all to get there, because obviously you've got to have the evidence, and if you don't have sufficient evidence, you've got to catch them in the act, you've got to catch them supplying it. But the way in which he's done that, to have a bunch of guys not even know that the one person that they trust, the person that pushes them hard, but the person that trusts them and is supposed to have their fucking back, is the one person who was actually swapping out caffeine pills and getting them addicted to meth. I mean, you can't get much worse than that. But it was a totally enjoyable episode. The fact that we got to meet the other guy as well, who used to do the job that now Tony is doing. Basically worked for Gibbs for 5 years. But I could feel some sort of like, not jealousy, but just feeling like he wasn't being treated the same because he saw how the two of them were together, thinking, what am I doing wrong? Does he not like me? You can see, I mean, I know it's not a big deal, but he's pretty much just informed me now, no, I got that kind of treatment from him too. So if he's already remembering your name quicker than he did me, you're on the straight now, you're on the good road. The complicated nature of an aircraft carrier and navigating it was foremost pointed out literally at the beginning of this episode to Kate, trying to circumnavigate the bloody thing. It was funny because in the end it's Tony who got lost, not her. I wasn't expecting something to do with drugs this early into the show, especially with it being what it is. It's just not it's not a normal detective show. It's just people on drugs. It's Navy, and not only is it Navy, it's people on active duty on a fucking aircraft carrier. Could you get much worse with how dangerous that flight deck is? Wow. Okay, I don't think I need to add an awful lot more to that. We didn't get a massive amount of sort of backstory, character building there. We got a little bit from Tony feeling a little bit out of sorts that his predecessor appeared to be more liked than he did, and he's just found out it's not necessarily that way at all. Kate's still learning. They're working well together, to say that she's the new one. The doc fascinates me, especially because I've now, with your help as well, identified where the hell I know him from, that he's from The Man from U.N.C.L.E. and Sapphire and Steel, is it? There's 3 or 4 different things that he's famous for, but to me it's The Man from U.N.C.L.E. a long time ago. It's curious that he is a medical examiner at his age. He already looks like he's already at retirement age, to be honest, or very close to it. So I don't know how long he's going to stay in this show, because he's got to be in his 60s here, surely. Maybe even older. I don't know. Do they have a choice, or is it mandatory retirement when it comes to military things like this with the Navy or anything else? Do they have to have a cut-off point? Because his job's not that exerting, I suppose. He's not like, I know he goes out in the field with bodies, but it's not like he's doing anything massively physical. I don't know how long he's going to be in it, but I like the way that he's very calm, he's very intelligent. I love his little stories that he's got, and I love the way that he talks to each one of his patients, in effect, even though the cadavers now, well, no, not cadavers, but the dead bodies now, always ready to listen to what they have to tell him, even though they're no longer here. Right, okay then, I will see you for another 2 episodes next week, episodes 7 and 8, available over on Patreon. If you want to check that out and watch the 4 length episodes, link in the description is where you go to do that. And if you are watching this on YouTube, I would appreciate a quick sub to the channel. I will see you for episode 7 next. Take care.